Today we will start with infinitive verb. Now this is verb part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, then please watch part 1 and then come to part 2. Okay? Infinitive verb. Infinitive verb is nothing but 2 plus V1. That is 2 plus first form of the verb is called infinitive verb. Let's look at the examples. Birds love to sing. 2 plus V1. Okay. I love to study. 2 plus V1 study. It is easy to learn English. 2 plus V1 learn. We need 2 bananas to prepare a glass of smoothie. 2 plus V1 prepare. Okay. So this is called infinitive verb. Now you need to understand how to use infinitives in a sentence. Infinitives can come after a verb. Like birds love to sing. Now love is also a verb. Love is a verb. So here you have infinitive after the verb love. Okay. I need to save money for my higher education. Need. Need is what? Need is a helping verb. Right. So after need, 2 plus V1. 2 plus V1. So need to save money. Okay. So here infinitive has come after need. Next. After an adjective. It is easy to learn English. What is easy? What is easy? Easy is an adjective. So infinitives can come. Easy is an adjective. So infinitives can come after an adjective as well. Okay. 2 plus V1 learn. This is an infinitive and this has come after the adjective easy. Is it fair to charge 350 bucks for a movie? Fair. Fair is an adjective. So here the infinitive 2 plus V1 to charge has come after the adjective fair. Okay. Next. You can use infinitives after a noun. We need 2 bananas to prepare. Bananas. Bananas. This is a noun. And to prepare, this is the infinitive. Infinitive. Okay. 2 plus V1. We want money to help the poor. Okay. We want money to help the poor. So here money is what? Money is a noun. And to help is your infinitive. Okay. So infinitives can come after a verb, after an adjective, after a noun. Infinitives can come as a subject as well. To look after our parents is our moral obligation. So here, what is your moral obligation? To look after our parents. Now here, to look after comes as a subject of the sentence. Okay, so it can also come as subject of a sentence. Next. It can come as an object of a transitive verb. I want to read a book. I want to read a book. Now, this is a transitive verb. Transitive verb. Now, I want to do what? Now, here you need an object and this becomes your object. Okay. Next. Next, we need to understand bare infinitive and this part is very important. Very, very important. This slide. Okay. This slide says that the following verbs, these verbs will always take bare infinitive when the sentence is in active voice. What is bare infinitive? Bare infinitive is only V1 when 2 is not used. 2 plus V1 is infinitive and if 2 is omitted, it becomes bare infinitive. Okay. Bid, make, help, feel, see, watch, hear. These are the verbs which will always take bare infinitive, that is V1, when the sentence is in active voice. Okay. Out of these verbs, the most important ones are make and help. These two are very important. Okay. Look at this example. The CEO made the employees donate a day's salary to the flood victims. The CEO made the employees. Now CEO is the doer. This is the subject. And this doer also acts as a subject. So this sentence is in active voice. Okay. This sentence is in active voice. So here the verb made will take bare infinitive. Now look at this. Donate. Donate is what? On V1. And to is not present over here. So this is bare infinitive. Okay. I helped him complete the job. Who helped? I. The doer acts as a subject, so this is an active voice. Help, when in the sentence is an active voice, help takes bare infinitive. So here complete is V1. This is bare infinitive because here to is not present. Okay. They felt, here they felt the ground shake once. They felt the ground shake once. Now here who felt? They, and the doer is they and they is the subject, so this is an active voice. And after feel, when feel is used in active voice, you need to use bare infinitive. So yes, shake is V1, bare infinitive, it has been used. Okay, so in this way, bid, make, help, feel, see, watch and hear, these verbs take bare infinitive when used in active voice. But when they are used in passive voice, then they take infinitive, to plus V1. Look at this example. The employees were made to donate. Now, who is the doer actually? The doer is the CEO, and the doer is not present over here in the sentence. So the sentence is in passive voice. The sentence is in passive voice. That's why make will take infinitive, that is 2 plus V1. 2 plus V1. Okay. He has been helped to complete the work. And who helped him? I helped him. But here doer, again doer is missing, it is not present. So when do you say a sentence is in passive voice? When the doer of the action is not given in the sentence, or when the doer is present in the sentence but it is present after by, that is the doer does not act as the subject. The doer does not act as the subject of the sentence. Okay, the doer is present after by. When the doer is present after by, it is in passive voice. When the doer is absent, it is also in passive voice. Okay, he has been helped to complete the work. So who helped him? I helped him, but the doer is not present, so this is in passive voice, and that's why help takes infinitive, that is 2 plus complete. Okay, next, this is also very, very important. Let takes bare infinitive always. Let always takes bare infinitive. Okay, let us go for a walk. If I say let us to study, then this sentence is absolutely incorrect. Let us study. Okay, let us study. You cannot use infinitive with let. Let us go for a walk. So after let, bare infinitive. I will not let him leave. After let, bare infinitive. Okay. Next, need and dare takes bare infinitives when they are used as auxiliary verbs in negative and interrogative sentences. You need not use a notebook. So when they're used in negative sentences and in interrogative sentences, they take bare infinitives, and we saw this in the previous session as well. In verb part 1 also we learned this. Okay, you need not use a notebook. You dare not come to my house. Now, when not is present after need and dare, you have to use bare infinitive. If not is present before dare, then only infinitive, that is 2 plus V1. Okay, so here not is present after dare, not is present after need, so V1, that is bare infinitive, will be used. 2 will not be used. Okay. If the action expressed by the infinitive comes before a finite verb, perfect infinitives are used. She denied to have met the man in the prison. If the action expressed by the infinitive comes before a finite verb, action expressed by the infinitive, which means what? To meet is the infinitive, right? Comes before a finite verb. What is the verb? Verb is deny. Meeting happened before denying, right? Meeting happened before denying. She denied to have met the man in prison. Now, when will you deny something? Something should happen before the denial, right? Or before the acceptance. Before acceptance or denial, that thing should happen. So, meet happened before the denial or before the acceptance, anything. So, here we are talking about denial. So, it happened before the denial. So, here what is happening? Here the infinitive verb happened before the finite verb. Okay, When this case scenario happens, then the infinitive verb becomes perfect infinitive, that is 2 plus have plus V3. 2 plus have plus V3. Okay, so she denied to have met the man in the prison. Okay, next. If the following verbs are followed immediately by an object, an infinitive is used, otherwise ing form of verb is used. Let's look at an example. Advice. If advice is followed by an object, I would advise drinking a glass of water every morning. I would advise everyone. Here, do you have an object? I would advise whom? Object is not present. So here gerund has V plus ing has been used. Okay, ing form of verb has been used. I would advise whom? Everyone. So object is present over here. Everyone is the object, because this advice verb will be received by everyone. The recipient of the verb is everyone. So here object is present, and that's why 2 plus V1 has been used. Similarly for prohibit, forbid, allow and permit. Okay. There's a difference in the meaning between stop plus ing form of verb and stop plus 2 plus V1 form of verb. Stop plus ing form of verb means to stop doing an activity, like I stopped watching TV. Stop plus infinitive means to stop in order to do the activity mentioned. Okay. I'll explain you the difference in meaning. Now here is a television, okay? Here is a television. I stopped watching TV means what? I used to watch TV, but now I don't. I don't watch TV. I stopped to watch the TV means the TV, something is going on, okay, on the television, and I was passing by, and then for watching the TV, I just stopped over here and I started watching. Okay, this is the meaning of I stopped to watch the TV. Okay, now look at this. This one is important. This rule is important. If you have would, and after would, if you have one of these verbs like, prefer, love or hate, then you have to use infinitive. Okay, I'll repeat. Would plus any of these verbs like, prefer, love, hate will take infinitive. That is 2 plus V1. Look at this. I would, after would, what do you have? Love. Love. So after love, would plus love means 2 plus V1. So 2 plus V1. I would like to meet him. So would plus like. Then after that, 2 plus V1. Okay. Now comes gerund. Gerund is an ing form of verb which acts as a noun. Okay. Now tell me, how do you identify a noun in a sentence? For identifying nouns, you need to ask one of these three questions. What, who, whom. Okay. One more thing. A subject of a sentence is either a noun or a pronoun. Okay. Now we will understand gerund using these two concepts, because we know that gerund is ing form of verb which actually functions as a noun. Okay. Swimming is a good exercise. Now ask the question, what is a good exercise? What is the answer that you get? Swimming. So swimming is a noun. Swimming is a noun. Understood? Smoking is injurious to health. What is injurious to health? Smoking. What is injurious to health? What is injurious to health? Smoking. So again, smoking is a noun. So these are actually verbs, ing form of verbs, but these in sentences, these act as nouns. So this means that swimming and smoking are gerunds. Okay. Also, you can see that these swimming and smoking, they act as subjects in the sentence. Next. How to use gerund? Gerund can be used as a subject, as an object, or after a preposition, that is object of a preposition. Okay. Drinking 8 glasses of water is good for health. Here drinking has been used as a subject. I love eating chocolate. Here eating is an object of the verb love. After a preposition it can be used. There is no point in sending. So here in is the preposition and this is object of the preposition. Okay. So sending is the object of the preposition. So this is a noun. It is ing form of verb which acts as a noun. It is a gerund. Object of the verb love. So this is an object and objects are always. Okay. So this point also I need to mention. Object of a sentence is also either a noun or a pronoun. Okay, remember this. So object, which means this is a noun, but actually this is a verb, ing form of verb. So ing form of verb which acts as a noun. So this is a gerund. Okay, next. This rule is very, very important because you keep on asking me when to use gerund, when to use gerund. So with used to, accustomed to, averse to, addicted to, devote to, in addition to, look forward to, object to, owing to, given to, taken to. With these you will always use gerund. Okay, I am used to drinking coffee. Used to. He is addicted to smoking. Addicted to. I am not averse to taking risks. So these are all gerunds. Okay. Now with used to, there is a rule, that is before used to. Let me write it down over here. Yes. Second. Before used to, if a verb is present, then after used to you will have a gerund. If before used to verb is not present, then after used to you will have infinitive. What is infinitive? 2 plus V1. Understood? Now look at this. Here we have used to and not infinitive, we will have bare infinitive, that is just V1. Have V1. Okay. Now let's look at this. Here we have used to, but before used to verb is not present. So here we have only V1. I used to smoke. I am used to. Here before used to you have a be verb present. So here you have used a gerund. Okay. Next. Now here I have given you a list of verbs which are followed by gerunds. Okay. So I won't read out these sentences. So the PDF will be available in the Telegram group and channel. Please follow the PDF, download the PDF and read from there. Okay. Next. Verbs which are followed by gerund. So here I have given you a complete list. Okay. He postponed, let's take an example. He postponed meeting the director. So postponed will take gerund and that's why meeting has been used. Okay, gerund. She admitted stealing my jewelry. Admitted will be followed by a gerund. So here stealing has been used. Okay. Now there are verbs which are followed by either gerund or infinitive. You can use any one. Okay. Any one. So propose. With propose you can use either gerund or an infinitive. The meaning will be same. With dislike, if you say I dislike meeting new friends, gerund. I dislike to meet new friends, infinitive. Transitive verb. Transitive verb are those verbs which require an object. Transitive verbs will always require an object. Object is mandatory. Object is mandatory. Okay. Without object, transitive verbs will not make any sense. Let's understand. Children fly kites. Now, children fly what? Fly is the verb. Children is the doer, that is the subject, and the kites are the object. Okay. Now, if you remove this part, if you remove the kites part, children fly. Now, children fly what? This question will come. So this sentence is incomplete without this object. So fly here is a transitive verb. Rima rides. Now if I say Rima rides, then your question will be Rima rides what? So again the sentence is incomplete without the object, which is motorbike. So the rides here is a transitive verb. Next, intransitive verbs are those verbs which require an object, which does not require an object. Okay, birds fly. Now here you don't need an object. Birds fly, this sentence itself is sufficient to render a meaning. Okay, she swims. Here also this sentence is sufficient. Okay, this is a complete sentence. So here you do not need an object. So fly and swim here, these two verbs are intransitive verbs. Okay, he loves. He loves what or whom? So here loves is a transitive verb because it needs an object. Right? Transitive verbs need object. Okay. She killed. She killed whom? So again killed is a transitive verb because it needs an object. She slept. Now she slept, here you don't need an object. So slept is an intransitive verb. Okay. Next. Let's understand the different forms of verb. V1, V2, V3, V4 and V5. Okay, you just need to remember these things. V1 is the present or future form of a verb and it is the plural form. Okay, this is basically the base form of verb, base form. Okay, V2 is the form in past tense, V3 in perfect tense, V4 in ing form and V5 in present tense singular. Present tense singular, that is SES verb. Okay, now let's understand this. Let's take one verb which is have. Let's take this. Have is the basic form. Okay, V1 form. Okay, and also if you see plural form is have. Yes, present form have. Yes. Okay, now past. In past it will become had. In perfect also it will become had. In ing form having, but this is not used for possession, and in the singular form it is has. Okay, next let's understand this come. Come in V1 form, in basic form it is come. In the past tense it becomes came. In the perfect tense it again becomes come. So in V3 again it is come. In ing form it is coming. And in present, a singular form, it is comes. Okay. Fine. So this is how you can change the forms. So here we have a few verbs. So if you look at put, it is put, put, put. Put is what? Is same in the three forms. Put, 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 putting, puts. Catch, caught, caught. For catch it is catch, caught, caught. Catching, catches. Okay, in this way you can find out the different forms. Okay. Dig is dig, dug, dug. Okay. Fall is fall, fell, fall, fell, fallen. Okay. Find, found, found. Let me write it down here. Find, found, found, finding and finds. Cast is cast, 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 casting, casts. Read is read, read. The pronunciation is read, but the spelling is the same. Read, reading, reads. Cut is cut, cut, cut. Just like put. Then cutting, cuts. Okay. Okay, so tomorrow we will learn this confusing verbs. Okay, so today we will keep this session till here. Tomorrow we will learn confusing verbs, and then our verb chapter will be complete. So I hope you have enjoyed watching the video. Please like the video and share the video with your friends, and also please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.